Ladies and gentlemen, I bring you a special news bulletin which has just come in. The major cities of the world are being destroyed one by one by the gigantic monster, the octopus. This monster has already attacked and destroyed Moscow, Berlin, Paris, and also Copenhagen. And now...
All right, welcome everybody to Mine in the Gutter. This is a page that was created about a year ago by me and my brother, Josh Starcher, for basically our love of comics. He's been a lifelong fan for over 30 years now. This is something that's still kind of new to me. Probably been getting into this for like the last year, really kind of following the storylines of some of the major comics going around with DC and their Batman storyline that's now up to, I think, 108. But it's something that we've talked about doing for quite some time, and maybe eventually his ugly mug will be on here with me. But until then, you're just kind of stuck with me. So, welcome to the inaugural podcast of Mine in the Gutter. It's something we're just going to go over comic books and Dungeons and Dragons and role-playing games and basically just nerd stuff that is oddly enough finding its way back into some of the higher levels of pop culture. But I wanted to start off the very first one with talk a little bit about an author out of New England that has many different storylines out. He's somebody that I've had an opportunity to meet and listen to during one of his meet and greets, and he's got some big projects that are currently in the works, as well as some that are already out. And talk about New England's own Chris Philbrook. Chris is a local author in New Hampshire, the northern part of the state. He started Adrian's Undead Diary, which you can see attached here with Book 1, Dark Recollections, which follows the life and tragedies of Adrian Ring. Starting off in 1, we're now up to Book 12, which is Dead Cities, which is soon to be published both on Audible and Amazon Kindle, as well as his website, as you can see above. But the story that follows Adrian Ring and some of his family members and some of his relationships through the course of a zombie apocalypse. And it starts off in Adrian's school and kind of advances from there. And there's everything that you would expect from this type of story, from this genre. There's betrayal, there's mystery, there's love and death. And one thing I really enjoy about this series that kind of sets it apart from some of the others that I've followed is it's very unpredictable. Even major stories right now like The Walking Dead, you can kind of get a sense of where that's going. You got the comic on that, obviously, to kind of as a guide. But even some of the newer stuff that they're doing, it's fairly predictable. And to Chris's credit, this is far from that. So there's times where I've reached out to him in anger over some of the things that have happened in Adrian's story. So that's the other cool thing about Chris is he's very interactive with his fans and goes out and puts the feet to the pavement with meet and greets and everything he can do to get the story out there with comic cons and stuff around New England. So if you have a chance to meet Chris, really, really good guy. Which will bring me to his next project, is The Awakening of Diggory Finch. This is a project that just came off of Kickstarter a couple weeks ago. It's something that Chris was extremely excited about, something that I'm excited about. All of his stuff has been very well written and very suspenseful, and this isn't going to be anything different. It's a little bit more of the magic genre than the horror or some like his other series like Tesser. So this is Tesser, A Dragon Among Us. It's a book based out of Boston, and it's the awakening of Tesser and his family members of dragons and kind of the things that they go through. But Diggory is kind of a break from the normal stuff that you've seen from Chris so far. Which is exciting because, like I said, a lot of his stuff is really good. It's the kind of stuff you pick up and you can't put down until it's over, and then unfortunately you have to wait a little while for him to come out with the new stuff. But he's hard at work. We follow him on social media. He's hard at work busting through these things, getting everything put together and ready for Diggory Finch. and for Dead Cities coming out here shortly. There is going to be a new narrator for Adrian, which will be a little different. A little excited about that. We've had the same narrator for the first 10 or 11 stories. That is since changed, and we're getting ready to see how that kind of plays out on Audible. But a lot of exciting changes coming forward with that story. There's also a branch off story by Carl Meadows that you'll be able to see on Chris's site. I haven't actually listened or read that one yet, but that's next in my queue. So if you have an opportunity looking for something that's really good in the zombie apocalypse genre, pick up Adrian's Undead Diary. If you're looking for something that's kind of more of the sci-fi, dragons and control of elements and strong characters, Tesser is a really good series to start with. We're on book like 6 or 7 on that now. Very, very good. And what's a little different about Tesser, other than one follow-up book with his name on it, is it follows the other dragon members of his family, who basically control different elemental properties of the world. And it's really interesting how Chris is able to kind of tie those together while still giving them a very independent storyline. So Ambrin, one of the dragons in the storyline, is probably one of my favorite books by Philbrook. Really, really good stuff. The other cool thing about you get eventually is stuff like this is Dark Recollections. It's book 1 of Chris's storyline. This is something that came out about a year ago, and it's from the illustrator Alan McRaffin. I'm probably butchering that last name, but this was a series that Chris put out on his website where it's obviously a sketch pad, and you would get a one-of-a-kind illustration from Alan on the book. He did this for this first couple series. I'm not sure if these are still available on his website. You may want to have to reach out to him, but just really cool collectible thing that he's done. Again, really interactive with fans. A lot of the merchandise you can find on his Redbubble account. It's anything from the covers with shirts to coffee mugs to mouse pads. A lot of cool stuff on there. So if you have some downtime looking to get into some new storylines, I would highly recommend New England's own Chris Philbrook. And we're really looking forward to The Awakening, Diggory Finch. Book 1 should be out probably in the next month or two. I know he's still working very hard on these stories and trying to get this published out. So thank you everybody for joining us. Maybe I can get my brother on here for one of these. But I hope everybody has a good week, and everybody be safe.